All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are back with the biggest reality show we have right now. Of course, this is the Reality Kenya. My name is Simi Kenya as well, and we are live from the Learned Corner. We took a break last week, and we are back this week, bigger and better, fresh with our usual partner here, of course. You know, this is now more of partnership. And our guest, you're no longer a guest.
I'm now a partner.
Partner.
Yes.
Our guest, as usual, is the Deputy Party Leader of Safina Party, Honorable Wakili Willis Otieno, Piki Ponki.
Pakamielo Disco.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You're good?
I'm good.
Okay.
We're looking fresh for the week.
Thank you very much.
And we are happy to be back once again.
Yes, thank
You know, last week a lot of events were there.
There are many things happening.
Yes.
Yes.
And we are back.
Now we are back. We can talk to our viewers and friends.
Yes.
Yes.
Where was Paka dancing the disco over the weekend?
The Paka danced the disco in Vega. Then it went to Kenya. We joined Governor Orengo's family.
Yes.
They had gone to pay dowry for their son in Vega.
Oh, it was a Nyombo.
Nyombo. In though they were Nyomboing, Mike and Samantha.
Yeah.
Had their traditional ceremony. So Paka went and paid cows.
Yes.
Then Paka went to the groom's home in Ugenya, just to make sure that the groom has reached home well.
Yes.
So that was the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nice being in Western Kenya region again.
Yeah.
And just caucusing with people on the side to discuss the issues affecting our country.
Yeah.
And of import is one thing that you notice.
Yeah.
It's now almost 1 year since Ruto was sworn in as president.
Yeah, actually, it's actually 1 year.
And surprisingly is that the common thread is that the Kenyan people are the poorer today than they were 1 year ago. And the cry of Kenyans, they are feeling the economic pinch.
Yeah.
And it's affecting the quality of life.
Yeah.
There were many students I met who were complaining about the ability to access higher education. Education was meant to be an equalizer, but just overnight, the university, especially private universities, and have increased fees for the students.
Yeah.
Government has withdrawn government-sponsored students from those universities, so everybody has to pay. The public universities also have increased their fees exponentially.
Yeah.
Students cannot access help as they used to access before. There's a new model of accessing help.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of hue and cry out here.
Yeah.
Because people are seeing what you can term as a generation that may be lost. They are not able to, they not be able to get the kind of quality education that universities are supposed to present. This month again, we are witnessing the G2G is maturing. End of this month.
Yes.
And I always say it, watch this G2G oil thing.
This is the third time you are talking about it.
I'm saying it, watch this thing.
Yes.
The dollar is now comfortably sitting at 150.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
It's
by my own estimation, we are soon going to hit 160. And if you're not careful, it will reach 200. You know, when an economy is doing well, there are two things that you look at. Number one is interest rates and exchange rate.
Yeah.
Our interest rates keep rising. Banks are charging higher interest rates if you go to borrow any loan.
Yeah.
Government is borrowing through bonds and bills at very high interest rates. In fact, the 2-year bonds are they're paying interest rate of 16%. The 90-day bills, they are paying interest rates of 14%, 13-14%. Bank paying to the banks. I mean, government paying to the banks. And so it means the bank's appetite to lend to us, they don't want to lend to the individual like me. So our interest rate is very high. They'll give somebody, a private individual, at an interest rate of 20% or 25%.
That is scary. Huh?
Our interest rates are rising. Our shilling is weakening by the day. Now, those are what we call the telltale signs of a strained economy. Because if you are import driven like we are today, and your shilling is losing value to the dollar every day as it is, then you are going to get to a situation where even the price of basic commodities will be out of reach.
Yeah.
Because you are not producing enough to be able to earn sufficient foreign exchange to be in a position to meet your import needs. Yeah. Now that is why you're seeing this shilling every day is losing value.
It's losing its
value. Losing its value to the dollar. And those are dangerous signs, in my view.
Yeah.
And that now marks squarely in the 1 year of Kenya Kwanza.
Yeah.
They start when the two pillars that should anchor a sound economic platform are weak. Shilling is weak, the exchange rate is weak.
Yeah.
Inflation, interest rates are rising.
Yeah.
Anytime you see those two, just know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And so indeed we're in trouble. And somebody may argue that many countries are in trouble.
Yeah.
That's okay. But even if you're in trouble, what we look for is what measures are you taking to address that trouble? Well, how are you trying to mitigate? How are you trying to deal with it? And on my part, I don't see anything that Kenya Kwanza is doing.
Yeah, they're not making any effort.
Yeah, they're not making any effort to mitigate these problems that are befalling us today.
Yeah.
You saw they held a big conference, climate summit.
Yes.
In Nairobi. And in that climate summit, we are talking about issues of carbon emissions and how we're supposed to reduce.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, this is a conversation that should not be driven by Africans. Because in terms of polluters, Africa accounts for only less than 4% of carbon polluters in the whole world.
Oh.
Less than 4%. The developed world are the major polluters. The USA, China, India, Japan.
Yeah.
Most of these developed countries, they are the major polluters. Germany, UK, they're the major polluters. But here, as a continent, we only account for 4%.
Yes.
And now you are telling us we should stop using fossil fuels to generate energy, and we focus on clean energy.
Yeah.
But even if we did all of that here, the impact will be negligible. Why can't they start the conversation in the Western world before it comes here? So that let the major polluters be the ones convening a meeting to discuss this issue, because this thing is their thing.
They cover almost
96% of the pollution is from them.
Yeah.
So why have it with us here? And some people have argued that even in terms of sustaining a base load, if you are to turn to clean energy sources, it will take time before you can fully transit from, for example, coal-powered energy to hydrogen-powered energy source, because the amount of power that you need to sustain an industrial production, you will need, because if the industry takes the bulk of the power output, you need to quickly be able to fill the base load so that the power doesn't, you don't lose power. And the green energy sources, they are still developing technology to be able to continuously emit sustainable rates of that power. So that is why some countries are saying we will not even turn off our coal, because it's a heavy polluter, but it gives sustained power that you can even use. You can take off a lot of the power, but it can quickly be replaced onto the grid. So, but this is not our conversation. This is a conversation that let the heavy polluters lead, as we should focus on our bread and butter issues. How do you deal with your foreign exchange, your weakening shilling, your economy? How do you deal with your rising interest rates that is causing all this economic pain to your people? Now we are discussing things that don't, in my view.
Do you think that this summit ought to have been more focused on economical, uplifting, other than this?
For me, I think Africa should be having a summit to discuss how Africa can trade with itself. That's an important summit, that as a continent, let us have a conversation on how are we able to trade with ourselves. How many of our products that, for example, in Kenya we are buying, but they can be available in Nigeria. How many products are Nigerians importing from Europe that they can get from Kenya? So that if you go to Nigeria, they import the bulk of their vegetables from Europe and America. Can they access the vegetables that we have here in Kenya to allow them landing rights in the Lagos market, for example. And across the continent, look at whatever every country is producing, and then have a conversation on how we are able to trade with ourselves here at first instance. Once you've had that conversation, then you open skies, what you call the open skies. Why do you have so many restrictions? If I want to go to some countries in West Africa, for example, if you want to go to Dakar before, you love to go to France, then you go to Dakar. There's a time I was going to Mali. I had to fly to France. Then go back to Mali.
And you need visas at the same time.
Yes. I had to go to France, then I go to Mali. Open skies, how can we be able to open the continent? To be able to, you have free movement of goods and services and people. Even in terms of road infrastructure. Because that is very important. Open up the continent. Do you have a Trans-African, for example, highway that moves from Cape Town to Cairo? You have another one coming from Mombasa all the way to Dakar, right? And crisscrossing it across the continent so that people are able to freely move within the continent. We don't have that kind of a conversation. But let's start with trade even before we go to infrastructure. Open up the continent to trade with itself. So that your summit should be all about what goods and services do we have in our region. How are we able to trade with ourselves as a group first, before you move to the next level of opening trade with other countries. Which kind of trade agreements are we going to sign as a continent?
That summit.
Yes. We sign a trade agreement with the European Union or with the Americans. So the G20 decided to invite Africa as a member.
As a member.
Oh, which country is this called Africa? That Africa is now a member of G20.
That time that they were in the bus.
No, let me ask you. Brazil is a member of G20. India is a member of G20. China, USA, the G20 groups are not.
And those are countries.
These are countries. Africa is a continent. What do you mean when you invite Africa, AU, to be a member? Then it means the world already is looking at Africa as one comprehensive unit, right? But within, Africa operates as independent countries. So then it means as a continent, we should be starting the conversation about unity. So that when you go out to engage in a conversation with, for example, the G20 group, within as a continent, we should have formed a continental position on the issues that affect all of us. You should be strengthening institutions within the continent that we say any conversation we're having with the rest of the world, we'll speak with one voice.
As Africa.
As Africa. Not that Kenya goes to sign a bilateral agreement with the EU or with the US. Like I saw the other day, Kenya was trying an EPA agreement with the EU. Now this Kenya, one country goes to sign an MOU, an economic partnership agreement with the EU.
Then another country also.
Then Burundi goes to this to sign. They are looking at you. They're like, no, we're going to. This is mincemeat. Because the economy of the EU, then they come as a bloc. Their economy is massive. They have a very strong economy. Looking at Kenya, it's nothing to them. So the trade agreement is imbalanced to the disadvantage of the individual African country. So you take a continental position, or you take a regional position, then you discuss all economic discussions as a group. That is where Africa needs to be. So for me, the summits which we'll be holding are summits about economic summits, summits about good governance. Because you've seen a proliferation of coups in the continent. And these coups are led largely by emerging autocrats. People who have decided that they're going to undermine the free exercise of the franchise of the voter. So they've undermined their own constitutions. So they're giving a basis for the militaries of those countries to come in and say, no, the first coup is done when the vote is stolen. The second coup is simply to clean the mess created by the first coup. So they're all coups anyway. Because the first coup was when, for example, in the Gabon, when Ondimba declares himself that he's been elected 64%, and yet he has printed ballot papers which don't even have the opposition candidates' names. His opponent's name is not on the ballot paper, it's only him. He only prints a few ballot papers in the name of the opposition candidate.
Yes.
Then he declares himself as a winner 64. That's the first coup.
Yeah.
So that even the second coup that is done is nothing. You cannot condemn it. They are all coups.
Yeah.
Start by condemning the first coup that Ondimba had organized.
Yes.
Before you condemn the second coup.
That was done.
So those are the kind of conversations that we should be having, are those kind of conversations. Yeah. That even a civilian can conduct a coup. When you steal people's votes, when you subjugate the democratic process, that is a coup. And it should be condemned in equal measure as the subsequent coup, if done by the military.
Yeah.
Look at Zimbabwe. SADC is very clear.
Yeah.
The elections were won by Mr. Chamisa, according to SADC.
Yeah.
And Mnangagwa is insisting is the president. So maybe even that is also a coup.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that are still bedeviling our continent. Political rights and economic empowerment. So that to me, what you call first and second generation rights.
Yes.
Climate change, those are third generation human rights. We are still not yet there.
Yeah.
Let's deal with the basics first.
Wow.
Then we can get there. Let the US and EU lead the conversation on climate change. Let them make up. In fact, they should even pay us. There's what we call the polluter pays principle. Whoever is polluting more should pay more. We are the ones who should stop industrial production using harmful energy sources and start adopting green energy as a basis, but not come to us and tell us that now we
need a summit
to discuss green energy. No, it doesn't work that way.
Wakili, talking about the economic status that we need to be talking, the main agendas that we need to be talking about. Right now, we just say that it's 1 year since Kenya Kwanza came in. Nothing has changed. Things have worsened. And probably where they found us 1 year ago was way better than where we are right now. What does this mean for the next 1 year, now that where we are is not as good as where we were last year?
You know, as I said, you look at what the administration is doing. What are the confidence measures that they're undertaking that you can say things may be bad, but tomorrow things will be good?
Yeah.
I don't see anything that they're doing that I can give me the confidence that, okay, we are going through pain with the hope that tomorrow will be any better.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately for us, is that we are only going to experience more and more pain.
Yeah.
The pain of Jubilee, which we felt when they stole elections in 2017, that pain will continue until the day the Jubilee, in whatever shape or form, whether as Kenya Kwanza or as Azimio, is voted out. Because this is still the same Jubilee.
Yeah.
The loans which are afflicting this country were taken by Jubilee. It was still Uhuru and Ruto, the ones who took these loans that are messing up our economy, that we are not able to pay. We are borrowing now money at extreme interest rates just to survive, just to live.
Yeah.
So this pain will continue to be here with us. And I'm sorry to say, but for next year, I don't see any cushion that the Kenyan people will have. The pain will still continue. And that will be quite unfortunate. So we just need to have a more enlightened citizen, and we need to call them out. We call out the political administration and raise awareness. As Ondimba says, make noise.
Make noise. We are calling all our supporters.
Make noise. Make noise. All our friends and supporters, make noise.
Yes.
Make noise. So that we will use that as agitation. But you see, Kenyans, people made noise and Ondimba was released. he was released from house arrest and told that he is free to leave and go outside the country if he so desires for his medical treatment. But on a serious note, Kenyans really need to be vigilant, because there's nothing going on, in my view, at the national executive.
But some of these things, Naibu, are things that this Kenya Kwanza government used to criticize when they were campaigning. Do you think they can be trusted anymore? Like,
of course, the things they said on the campaign trail and what they're doing today are totally different. Yeah, that was just about applying kutupaka mafuta. They didn't intend to. They're doing the exact opposite of what they campaigned on.
Yes.
So it will take a fool to think that they're going to do something different. Yeah. They have actually run away from their campaign platform. They are doing things that are contrary to what they campaigned on, what they were elected on.
Yeah.
And so they conned you. So they already conned you. The foundation of the election was a conmanship. You are conned to vote for them, for those who voted for them.
Yes.
Now, why do you think they cannot con you while in office? The foundation of your relationship with them is a conmanship. So they are conmen. They'll continue conning you until the last day when they leave office. So the honor is on the Kenyan public to understand that this was a con, and we caucus and plan for the next elections and elect credible leaders like Jimmy Wanjigi and Willis Otieno as president and deputy president.
Yeah.
We start having a real conversation with the people of Kenya. This political class that we have here today, they are responsible for the mess that we have.
Yeah.
So if you expect anything to change in your lives with the same group that created the problem, it's a waste of time.
Wow.
This is a time that we must create a new leadership, a focused leadership that is not caught with the shackles of the past.
Yeah.
We are going to bring in a new crop of leaders who've never been part of the traditional leadership of this country. The politicians have failed.
Yeah.
It's time now for new players, and we are the ones who will do it.
Talk to Kenyans as we wind up as the deputy party leader of
Deputy party leader,
yes.
Welcome to our party. Welcome to this our conversation.
Yes.
Let's talk, let's engage. Let's discuss the economy.
Yes.
It is the economy stupid. We must change this country, and the conversation should be about empowering the common man. Every Kenyan having an opportunity to actualize, self-actualize, to achieve the best to their ability, and to competently participate in the economic development of this country, and to be also equally economically empowered and live a life of dignity, that which our Constitution and the Bible expects of all of us. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Abubu. May
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
May God bless
have
you.
a blessed weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you so much, our viewers. May God bless you. This is the Reality Kenya. Until next week, same place. Bye-bye. May God bless you.